We're going to start the program portion of our Bring Your Own Banquet. This year we've had plenty of changes in the AmiWest format, as you can tell. Just probably too many to comprehend because you can tell from this setting right here that there's been a tremendous number of changes since last year. And all along the way, ever since we were trying to assess what was going to happen tonight from the beginning of the year, we've had multiple sets of changes along the way, as you might imagine. So I really want to thank all of you for making the effort, some of you coming from quite a distance. By the way, who did come the farthest? No, you didn't get the farthest. You just came to South Sacramento. Let's see, I think. So I know Val came from Utah, 650 miles, you said? Okay, how about you, Robert?
Just north of Seattle, it's a 700-mile trip.
700 miles. So got you by 50 miles. And let's see, James, I don't think Santa Rosa is 750 miles. No, okay, all right. At least it wasn't the last time I was there. So thank you all for making the effort, for spending the time, effort, energy, and money to get here. And it's very encouraging to us as organizers of the show, myself and Jerry and Bill Borsari and the rest of our club members. Really is very encouraging to us to see everybody here. And we're hoping, obviously, that we'll be back to better than our normal next year. I have been told by Jerry that we have been having, how many people online today? Steady.
The morning was 180 steady, and then I think we lost some of the evening just because Europe started getting really late.
They went to sleep. I would too.
Yeah.
So no, that's great. That really, it's more than we've had online presence in the 23 years we've been doing this as a steady item. So I think that has been very successful so far. We have another day worth of the online stream going on with Doug Compton hosting Amiga Chat tomorrow, all day long. And so hopefully we'll have a similar number of viewers and participants at that point. And I was told, let's see, I think, who dipped into the Discord channel today? Okay, got a couple of Discorders, and that was being well received. Lots of participation. Much Discord. Okay, good. That's really fantastic. So all of these are experiments for us, first times. Bill Borsari using vMix, absolutely first time, because he usually does a video toaster on classic Amigas. So this is the first time for him using vMix. I think he did a super job. And there were very few glitches, except the mute button. The mute button did function very well several times in an unintended fashion. But really, thanks to everyone who has really started to make this, or really has made this the success that it has been so far this year. Typically, right now, we give awards to our sponsors and to our exhibitors. And usually what happens with that is that I am able to read an award from a piece of paper. However, in keeping with the virtual theme this year, all of the awards are going to be virtual. And so now what we're going to be doing is taking a look at PDFs on the screen. At least this is the theory. And we'll see if we can get the right ones in the right place at the right time. So let me bring up my VPDF app here and see if I can avoid creating too much of a sonic boom while I sit down. Okay, so there's that. And that's not the right thing that I want to read right now. I want to do this over here. So don't read the screen yet. I've got two of those. Okay. So our first sponsor we'd like to thank, at least first in this order, is AmiWest Broadcast, Bill Borsari. And we'll be sending this to Bill as a memento of AmiWest 2020. As you all probably know from our conversations online and otherwise, and from years past, Bill's been doing this. This is the 23rd year for AmiWest. And so I don't think anybody's been here any longer than Bill, because they couldn't be. And he's really done, I don't know how many thousands of hours he has donated of his time. He is a highly paid information technology consultant and salesman. And we couldn't do this without him, and it's really kind of amazing he's still volunteering. So he's definitely into Amiga and everything that Amiga is. So thank you, Bill, for sponsoring AmiWest broadcast this year and the AmiWest show. Our gold sponsor this year was AEON, Trevor Dickinson. And as I sent out, and Jerry did too, sent out emails to our usual sponsors, for I'm sure a wide variety of reasons, mostly connected to foreign travel and things of that nature, didn't hear back from, only heard back from 2. And Trevor was the one that came through for us financially this year. He's basically paying the room rent for these days that we're occupying these rooms. And also being very enthusiastic and presenting a very nicely recorded presentation this morning for the broadcast, as well as I understand some photos on Discord of coffee cups and his collection and things like that. So definitely really into our community, and we thank you very much, Trevor, for your support of AmiWest 2020. Not that one yet. Okay. So, AmiWest 2020 special recognition for Doug Compton of Tenmark, and really do appreciate all of the things that he has contributed as well. He's been plugging our show for quite a while, and he also provided a lot of links to people. If you have looked at tomorrow's Sunday link, you're able to see a lot of the people that he's in touch with. So they're hopefully bringing, and probably most certainly bringing, viewers and participants to the table tomorrow. So he has been very helpful in that regard, and also he's just an all-around great guy. So thanks, Doug Compton, for being part of our sponsorship team here at AmiWest. Let's see if I can, no, that's not the right one. All right. And let's see here. I think there's one more of these, but I'm not sure. No, okay. So now I'm going to have to increase the font size for this. If I can even find my cursor anymore. It's wandering. There it is. There it is. All right. So Dan Klosko was one of our very active members. He was the maintainer of the Abyss for something like 15 years, which by the time he got done with it, filled a 1,000 square foot house stacked floor to ceiling with Amiga hardware, software, magazines, and other kinds of memorabilia. Right, all that stuff. So we have renamed our award in honor of his passing several years ago. And we had another guy, Ken Barton, who also had been a former treasurer at the club. So we renamed the Ken Barton Award for Dan Klosko. And outstanding service to SAC really is it's not your usual award because we're talking about somebody who not only volunteers during club meetings, not only volunteers during the show, but somebody who volunteers a lot all the time. That is certainly what Dan was, certainly who he was. And this year, I'm sure you've all seen the name already, but I still want to read through the award. His enthusiasm for Amiga as a platform in all of its forms, from classic to re-implementation, has added measurably to our monthly SAC meetings. His dedication to SAC has been evidenced by his continual willingness to brainstorm and implement new ideas for both SAC and AmiWest. His expertise in online conferencing has resulted in a monthly online SAC club meeting to serve our members who are out of the area as far away as the state of Texas and visitors from states as distant as Connecticut. He volunteered many hours of his time and online conferencing expertise to bring the AmiWest 2020 enhanced streaming experience to life He's been an integral part of AmiWest since 2018, and he has served as SAC Vice President for the first time this past year, served as our Chief Operations Officer for AmiWest 2020, and his tireless and outstanding efforts, couldn't see it, have resulted in the continuance of our Amiga game competition from last year into this and untold numbers of details for our AmiWest 2020 stream. So our Dan Klosko Award for 2020 for outstanding service to the Sacramento Amiga Computer Club and AmiWest is presented to Jerry Gray. Again, this is pretty much largely something you have to really want to do. And Jerry really does, and we really appreciate it very much. I do especially, and it really has helped me measurably this past year. So let's see here, we can go, that. So our John Zacharias Award for this year is named after John Zacharias, who was a past president of our club. He was his idea was actually the impetus for AmiWest. He had gone to the St. Louis computer show and had talked to Bob Sharp and his wife, who ran that show for several years. And they said, you ought to do something like this out in Sacramento. So he came home and he said, sure, let's do it. And John was a programmer for the state of California. Also has written a very nice email client for the Amiga, and really did contribute a whole ton to AmiWest. He was actually the MC for AmiWest from 1998 through 2001, and the only reason he stopped being MC was because he landed in the hospital, and at the last moment, yours truly took over, not realizing that I would be at this for another 19 years or so. Yeah, no, definitely. But that's who the award is named after. And the reason I explain this is because me and Bill Clay and only a few other people, Kenny, were pretty much the ones who know this. So passing on the legacy to the people who have brought us to where we are is something I think is important for us. So it's awarded for outstanding technical assistance to SAC, presented this year to a man who's done more than most to support and develop AmiWest as an Amiga community gathering now and for the future. He's an expert in the information technology field, currently working on the innovative cutting edge in the IT industry. He has worked tirelessly to promote Amiga OS and the use of Amiga throughout the world. He is always brainstorming new approaches and ideas for AmiWest and wants to see the Amiverse continue and thrive. He has volunteered his time and expertise since AmiWest was founded in 1998 and has been an integral part of every AmiWest show for each of the last 23 years. His research and development during 2020 resulted in a multi-platform Amiga integration to achieve our enhanced streaming presence to the world. Implementing such technical innovations, first created in '98 and improved and enhanced every year since, has brought AmiWest to international attention through AmiWest broadcasts. The John Zacharias Award for 2020 for outstanding technical assistance to the Sacramento Amiga Computer Club and to AmiWest operations is presented to Bill Borsari. Okay, so let's see here. There's one more of these little guys. We can get through the process of elimination here. Special recognition. Okay, that was it. Our other sponsor was Infocessories, and that happens to be my effort with the Rebel distribution. So, and I like to sponsor just because, not only because I'm really invested in other ways in the show, but because I really believe in Rebel as a facility, as a scripting language, and hope all of you are considering becoming rebellers. And if you are, just come see me at the table at some point during the show, and we can talk a lot more about that. So going forward, we see a bright future for AmiWest. How many of you are new to the club or to AmiWest in the last 5 years?
I showed up, well, we showed up, what, 10 years ago, that 1 year? It's been a long time. But within the last 5 years is when we came up with just.
So you can raise your hands. So let's see how many people, just to do it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's 5. Okay, so that's about half of who we have here tonight. So there was a time, once upon a time, when people had recommended, the show is dying, the Amiga's dying, everything's dying, we might as well quit. And I'm glad we didn't, because if we had, we wouldn't have met you. And to me, that is what AmiWest is about. I've said that on my blog many times. It's all about the people. These very creative conversations that we have, I think we're having at least as good a conversations this year, maybe better. Because, well, for one thing, we're all kind of stir crazy and we've been cooped up for a long time. But that also, is a prod for creativity, which is really a pretty cool deal. So this evening's program, often we have a speaker from a foreign land coming in to tell us about their work with Amiga and why they use Amiga. This evening, what we're going to do is watch a movie called The 8-Bit Wars. And how many people have seen that? I've seen it. Okay, 3 people. So I think you'll enjoy this. It's about Commodore and Commodore's competitors during the late 1970s, early 1980s, and carrying all the way through to Commodore's untimely end in 1994. So that's what we're going to shift to at this point. And thank you to Jerry and Josh for helping to record all of this. Hopefully it'll be interesting to people on YouTube who were unable to watch or to be here. And so let's shift over to that right now, see if we can get that going.